ready to take your investment game to the next level? Introducing Digital Investor, your ultimate guide to mastering the digital marketplace. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, Digital Investor brings you cutting-edge game theoretical strategies, expert insights, and real-time tips and tactics to analyze, evaluate, invest, and grow your wealth. Don't miss out on the digital revolution. Visit www.nickblacknext.com and start your journey with Digital Investor today.
All right. Let's see. All right. I think we got all the buttons. All the appropriate ones. All right. What's going on? Let me get my old comments up here so we can see all them. Let me get this old sucker. This is today. Oh yeah, it's a coconut pie with I use not the vanilla creamer, but the other one. What is that? The maple? Not maple. Maple, maybe it is. Anyway, the other one, the one with the orange and yellow one, not the blue and red one. Ooh, boy. That's some good stuff right there. So creamy and delicious. All right, what's going on? So I'll bring you some little news. I don't know if you guys saw this guy. He's an economist. Everybody calls themselves an economist. But anyway, I guess the real one. He is, let's see, Tyler Cohen, not to be confused with that stupid douchebag on Twitter, Benjamin Cohen, who makes a different prediction every single day. And then 1 out of 45 times, he's kind of right. But the other 44 times, he just forgets those. But anyway, no, this is Tyler Cohen, who is supposedly an economist. And he recommends, I don't know if Tyler Cohen has some recommendation authority, but he recommended Vitalik Buterin to receive a Nobel Prize in economics, like economics adjacent, for his work in monetary theory and economics. Which, okay, I guess, except maybe you would want to include the other co-founders, right? So you'd have to have Lubin, you'd have to have Gavin Wood. I mean, without Dr. Gavin, There is no Ethereum because he wrote Solidity. There is all of the things that Vitalik espouses, all the merits of Ethereum are only possible because of smart contracts and only possible because of Gavin Wood. And then you have to credit Charles Hoskinson too, also a co-founder. So yeah, and I don't know that there's any universe where they're giving Charles a Nobel Prize. So anyway, there you go. So that's kind of it. And then the contention was not contention. The supposition was that if this were to happen, then Ethereum would be over 10,000. Okay, maybe. I don't know if those two things are correlated. He's like, then people would pay attention to Ethereum and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know that people are specifically not paying attention to Ethereum. You just have a lot of selling going on right now. You have a lot of people that made a lot of money. There was some guy, well, I don't know, it was a guy. We don't know the pronouns. Some entity from the original Ethereum ICO that bought the tokens for, I don't know, 26 cents or something. He sold over $100 million worth of Ethereum just in the last month. So when you see Ethereum not really moving, and at the same time, tons and tons of people are trying to get out of it, and Grayscale is unwinding their fund, and you have all of this negative sentiment, that's when you realize that once that stuff goes away, there's not a lot to hold Ethereum back, at least on the price perspective. Now, on the intellectual side of things, who knows? Who knows? So there you go. All right. So Vitalik for Nobel laureate. Woo! I don't know, man. He's pretty smart. His head is big. He's not good at rapping. You don't want to hear him rap or sing. You really don't want to hear him talk. You'd rather read his words. When he talks, it's a little nasally and uncomfortable. I mean, it's really nasally and uncomfortable. It's the most uncomfortable thing. You would never leave your kids alone with this guy. I mean, you'd never leave anyone you care about alone with him because he's very creepy. He looks like he's kind of monsterish, kind of ghoulish. But anyway, that's Vitalik for Nobel Prize. All right, I found a pretty interesting article about the FBI's little sting operation. I don't know if you guys knew about this, against market makers, and how they may have violated copyright laws when they did this. So I guess to catch a crook, it takes a crook, or whatever. On October 9th, the Federal Bureau of Investigation announced it had taken an unprecedented step of creating a crypto token, which is called Nex Fund AI. So this is fake. Nex Fund AI. I mean, it's a real token created by the FBI. They were using it to catch individuals and entities accused of manipulating crypto markets and inflating token values. Ain't that something? However, concerns have surfaced regarding the smart contract tied to Nex Fund AI, with analysis pointing out to potential copyright violations and the unintentional exposure of FBI-controlled wallets. If you don't understand crypto, stay the fuck out of crypto. It's like, you can just see these guys fresh out of Quantico. They're like, we're going to get these crypto guys. We're going to get them. Who here knows about crypto? Tony, come here. You did some crypto one time. It's like, yeah, I bought Dogecoin when I was a senior in college. I bought Dogecoin. Tony, you're just the man we need to run this team. Let's go out and indict some market makers. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm Tony. I'm running the FBI's. Man. Anyway, earlier this year, the authorities revealed that ZM Quant, who's a market maker, was hired to support trading for Nex Fund AI. So here's what happens. Crappy companies that want a big exchange listing, or crappy companies, let's just leave it at that. Crappy companies with crappy coins that mean nothing and that have zero use utility, wide scale adoption, get like a 3 on the 5 Ts, like just absolute dumpster fire dog crap projects, will hire these sketchy ass market makers to simply buy up the token on low liquid exchanges and pump the price. So the FBI, this is, I mean, they do a lot of wash trading and stuff like this. You know, the same stuff that other people might do, and you might notice that behavior in some ecosystems with some tokens. Like, you know, who knows which tokens? I mean, I wouldn't say like Cogito or NewNet or Sophiaverse. I would never say that. But, you know, other tokens. Not those, though. But other tokens. Not Fetch. Certainly not Fetch. But, you know, other tokens that are not that. That are not Fetch. Or AGIX. Tokens that are not those. Definitely tokens that are not any of those that I listed would do this kind of thing. Okay, so this particular token, the Next Fund AI token, was promoted. Oh, it's weird. It's even an AI. It's even a fake AI token. What other fake AI tokens do we know about? Oh. Well, I'll go play fetch with my cats later and think about it. We'll talk about wash trading in a second, but it may get into this. Let's see. So the token was promoted as an investment vehicle for early stage AI projects. Weird. The not at all similarities that we're thinking of here. Just not at all similar to anything at all in our, not at all. Anyway, federal authorities later accused ZM Quant of advising Next Fund AI backers, meaning the sketchy token backers, on how to artificially inflate the token's price, creating a pump and dump scheme. Ain't that something? ZM Quant accounted for over, this is the best part, 80% of Next Fund AI's trading volume in May. Unbeknownst to the market maker, Next Fund AI was part of a federal sting operation to expose fraudulent crypto trading. The authorities highlighted that ZM Quant explained how its trading bots could execute up to 20 trades per minute, inflating the token's price and trading volume. So basically, wash trading is going from one account to the other, back and forth, to give people the perception that there's tons of activity happening. Remember the CryptoPunk, the little 8-bit character that sold last week for, what was it, last week or the week before, for $53 million. And everybody's like, whoa, NFTs are back. No, NFTs aren't back. It was a guy selling to himself in 2 wallets. But then everybody looked at it like, what the smoke? But it was actually a stunt. It was a publicity stunt for a new thing they were launching. Anyway, that's wash trading. If you're doing it to inflate the perceived activity in the market, so you might use 10 wallets and push the token. Oh man! Look at all that volume for the day. Amazing volume. Things are incredible. There's a lot of people trading this thing. You look on there, you see the big red thing. You're like, oh my God, everybody's buying this token. No, it's one entity with a bunch of wallets pushing tokens back and forth, and all they're really out is the fees, and it gives the perception of a bunch of market activity. Anyway, ZM Quant, exactly this, used several wallets to make trades appear legitimate. Ain't that something? And that inflated the fake, the FBI token, FBAI token. I like that, Moto. That's very good. FBAI token. They inflated the price, they inflated the trading volume, and it hoovered up a bunch of other people because they see this and they're like, whoa. So Next Fund AI was only traded on May 31st, generating, it shows like a very little amount of artificial volume. So it looks like they let this go on for about 13 minutes, and then they just shut this thing down. Anyway, on-chain investigators then looking at this. So basically what happens is yesterday, the FBI comes out and says, it was yesterday, the day before, look at all these indictments we have. We're indicting four market makers, ZM Quant, one of them, for this market manipulation tactic. A lot of these sketchy ass companies are doing this. So they say, look at what we've done. We're indicting all these guys. Look at all this sketchy ass behavior. Great. Then on-chain investigators flagged a bunch of potential copyright violations involving the FBI's Next Fund AI token. Where's Tony? I'm right here. Tony, buddy, you told me you understood the crypto stuff. I do. I do understand it. I have Doga. I got the Doga coin in my wallet on Coinbase. I got Doga coin on Coinbase. I know crypto things. I love Elizabeth Warren and Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi's where I get my trading advice. I know crypto things. Okay. Well, Tony, you broke the law 740 times, you dick. So a synonymous developer known as Cygar, so that's a cool name. Kygar. That sounds like toothy. Claimed that the FBI smart contracts for the token violated the MIT license where they were created, opening the door for copyright infringement claims. So the developer noted that the FBI appeared to have copied several Open Zeppelin libraries without adhering to the MIT license requirements, which mandate including a permission notice in all substantial portions of the software. According to Cygar, the FBI clearly copy and pasted. This is right out of the Justin Sun playbook. Clearly copy and pasted several of Open Zeppelin's libraries, which use the MIT license. And it's not like it's the university of like down the street in Van Nuys. This is MIT, bro. Anyway, but they don't have a license. So the developer pointed out that while legal action seems unlikely, since all the people they used to do it also broke the law, it seems like a rather ironic oversight by the FBI. So I guess they broke a lesser law to get people doing. And I'm not saying they're wrong. I think this is good by the FBI because those companies are sketchy and the people that work with them are also sketchy. So there you go. However, in addition to the copyright concerns, the FBI inadvertently exposed its wallets, which may impact other investigations. If you are, a sketchy dude and you realize, hey, wait, this is one of those wallets on the FBI list. You might realize they're cops and do nothing because you live in a digital world and nothing ever happens. But anyway, Coinbase director Connor Grogan revealed that the wallet used to seed Next Fund AI distributed capital across several wallets and executed trades. Grogan also discovered that these wallets recently transferred funds to platforms like Binance, Token Play, Zixi Pay, and HTX. One wallet reportedly holds tokens like Ethereum Max and Shiba Inu's Bone, and 1.73 billion tokens of Porn Rocket. That's right. The FBI owns Porn Rocket. Porn Rocket. These are the people keeping us safe. Porn Rocket. Porn Rocket for everyone. Porn Rocket sounds kind of cool. Anyway, that's the FBI. I would go into the indictments, all that kind of stuff, but I don't want to focus on the bad because I think a bull market's coming and we need to get in a different kind of mindset. We need to get in the mindset of what to do when most of our opportunities to buy new stuff are over with, and you do have to shift into a different mindset. First, it is one of jubilation. Yeah, things are going up. Yeah. Then it is one of sadness. Ah, crap. I can't buy anything because everything's too expensive. Oh, man. Then it hopefully is not one of gambling. Oh, man, I think it's going to go up forever. This time's different. It's never coming back down. So we're going to create a mindset, some things that you can put in your back pocket to use to help steer you through a bull market, no matter how long it is. Bull market could be 6 months. It could be 18 months. It could be 8. You don't know. But you have to take a different tact. It's during a bull market, it is time to take some of those paper winnings and turn them into winnings and somehow help your life. You're doing this to, I would think, you're doing all of this stuff. You're educating yourself so that at least financially your life can get better. And even if it doesn't get better, it don't get worse. You know, like the first step to winning. Step 1, don't lose. Step 2, win. Okay, there we go. We nail step 1. We're halfway there. Like in G.I. Joe, right? Knowing is half the battle, and the other half is battle. So we're going to focus on the knowing part before battle comes. That's a noisy trash truck. I hope those aren't like those trash trucks from the movie Commando with a bunch of assassins. Pretty badass, though. Anyway, like a daytime shootout with trash can commandos. Badass. Anyway, many of you may have noticed that Uniswap, let's go over, I'm going to go and just take a look at the markets real quick a mundo, just because this is apropos at this moment. Look at that Uniswap. Woo woo. Look at all them green. Look at all them green. So that is our 20. Let's give it a little bit more perspective. Why don't we go 30 days? That's kind of wobbly. 90 days. It's kind of all over the place. 12 months. Oof. Oh, they're brighter days, right? Brighter days. Let's go back to the 90 days. It's too depressing that way. Anyway. So here's what's going on with Uniswap. Uniswap up today. Everything else kind of getting kicked right in the dick hole. But Uniswap's doing good. So we are going to talk about why is Uniswap doing good and what comes next for Uni. So we've always thought Uniswap is what they built is cool. But the token doesn't have any utility. It still doesn't have any utility, but it may in the future, depending on how they launch this next thing. So Uniswap saw a pretty massive rally today. It was up almost 17% for a little while after they announced the launch of a new layer 2. You think, how many layer 2s are there? Apparently an infinite amount. Apparently there's just an infinite amount of layer 2s. All of them settling transactions back to Ethereum. So if there was any thoughts about Ethereum going away, you can put those to bed. Ethereum ain't going anywhere. There's a whole damn ecosystem built right on top of it. And I'm not talking about tokens. I'm talking about layers. We're not even getting to the tokens yet, the spammy bullcrap yet, and the meme coins and the NFT. No. We're not there yet. Layer 2s. There's a whole ecosystem of layer 2s sitting on top of Ethereum. So anyway, this is another one that's coming. So they announced a new Ethereum 2. This is Uniswap. They announced a new layer 2 network because we clearly don't have enough of them. My guess is this was their quickest path to profit without giving up equity and without maybe getting in danger of like a security token type thing. So anyway, I don't think there's anything that other layer 2s do that this is going to do better. It's all the same crap. It's mostly the same functionality. I shouldn't say crap. It's all the same stuff. Mostly the same functionality. Ethereum's failures have been solved by all these layer 2s. So anyway, this development is set to increase the decentralized exchange of Uniswap, their native token. It's going to enhance its utility, which that's true. It will enhance its utility because right now its utility is nothing. It does nothing. And now, and then once the test net will go live today, and then the main net sometime later this year. So in the next 3 or 4 months, 2 or 3 months, there will be some utility. Some utility is infinitely better than zero. So I would say this token is infinitely better. What is the value of it price-wise? Well, that's tricky. You start having to compare things like total market cap and total supply, billion tokens. You say, okay, since there's a billion tokens, let's go look at other layer twos. And let's see. Okay. Well, we don't have numbers. Okay, there we go. Max supply. Total supply 4. So there's a billion less. So let's say it's a 4x of that. So could it be worth $6 or $8? $6, $7.50 maybe. Pushing it. And it's already, I don't know. I guess we won't go into the math of it. We'll wait for Brandon for that because that'll be kind of fun because he likes Uniswap. And I think he still holds some pretty good Uniswap. So good for him. I mean, they're already at a 4 billion market cap. So they're already way up on the list. And, adding layer 2 functionality, I don't know. I'd have to really think about that. Like, I'm wondering if it's already overpriced. I don't know. We'll see. Because these layer 2s just don't hold that high of a value. Why? They're super cheap, so you don't need to hoard the tokens. If you don't need to hoard the tokens, you don't need to hold the tokens. If transactions are super cheap, you only need a little bit of the asset in your wallet to process transactions. And if you only need a little bit of it or none of it, like with Base, like none, then why would people hoard or hold like Optimism, right? Like, that's one of the things that's holding many of these back is the more efficient they get, the less you would need to hold them. And so on the speculative side, you would say, well, if you don't need to hold it as much, there's less of a hoarding effect. There's less, then the price should go down, you would think. Anyway, that's how you would kind of mentally walk through that. So anyway, something to think about. So why this new token? Well, the top DeFi protocol, I think we can call that for sure. This Uniswap is the top of DeFi. Announced the launch of Unichain, a new Ethereum layer 2 designed to cater to the needs of DeFi enthusiasts. What? Who are DeFi enthusiasts? Oh, spammy kind of. So right now, I don't know who they're catering to exactly. What, like the 6 people that launch and trade spam coins? I don't know. This isn't even meme coin people. This is like this is the people from like 2022, the whole DeFi thing, which we're already we passed most of that, and we got some cool tools, but for the most part, all that yield farming, sloppy ass stuff, that's mostly behind us. People have kind of checked out of all that bullshit because it was so easy to pervert. And all these DeFi platforms, not all of them, many of the DeFi platforms, that's where all these hacks, that's where all of these kind of attacks are coming from. And you say, oh, this network got hoovered up. Someone did a flash loan and snapped up, $46 million here. And that's where all of the damage is coming from, or at least the lion's share of it in the crypto space is the DeFi that's left. Those networks get pilfered all the time. So this particular network, Uniswap's Unichain, will feature faster order books, cross-chain interoperability, and operate a decentralized validator network. Yeah, I guess. Uniswap also mentioned that they've designed Unichain to be the home for liquidity across all chains. You do it here with us. We will be the place for all chains. Maybe they see something that no one else does. They're the leader in DeFi, maybe. Meanwhile, the chain will help to accelerate Ethereum scaling while prioritizing the needs of, again, those spammy, mostly uneducated DeFi users and all the people that attack them and their protocols. The founder of Uniswap noted that the new Layer 2 chain will have a few new features like a fast, provable block builder that help achieve faster transactions and reduce MEV lags. He also noted a decentralized network of validators that add an additional layer of finality and economic security on top of the sequencer. Yes, because that's what I went to bed at night. Last night, I was like, that's what we need. We need more finality and economic security on top of the sequencers. That's really what's holding this whole thing back. We could just knock that out of the park. Anyway, so yeah, good for Uniswap. But I think now that people know what the utility finally is, again, if this launches, somewhat elegantly, then people have to price it. And since it's already the most expensive of these DeFi now layer 2E assets, I wonder if this actually cuts the token back. We'll see. Hopefully they can have some other reasons why you would hold this token. I mean, if they can lock up a bunch of value in that network somehow, maybe, who knows? I mean, I'm sure they've been thinking about this for quite a while. So we'll see. Uni has been doing good this year. I mean, Uniswap has had a good year. You can't argue that. They're up almost 100% on the year. So it's not as good as Bitcoin, which should be kind of embarrassing. If you're not outperforming Bitcoin, then grandma is beating you. Oh, so good. I wish they would make this like in a mouthwash. Can you imagine? Coconut coffee mouthwash. For anybody who's listening, I'm going to let you in on the ground floor. You can buy me out for 743,000 USDC. And not those Tron ones either, the real USDC. All right. Cool. Okay. 12 days left until the Twin TGE. Yay. What's going on within Twin? Let's see. In Twin. Oh, I see some people ready to ride this wave. There's one offer to purchase at 2 cents. That guy's not getting filled. And then it starts at about 21 cents. So it looks like 21 cents is the winner. So we'll see. I'm kind of excited about this token. We won't even touch this thing for 30 more days. So November 21st. On November 21st, you will be able to take the N-Twin token and bridge it 1-for-1 directly for Twin tokens. So you can trade. So it's bridgeable 30 days in. So there may be some arbitrage opportunities for some of you, and I'll leave it at that. Okay, great. So there's that. What more shall I say? How should those of you that don't have the token prepare for all this? Well, we'll do all that kind of stuff behind the wall. Mayhaps we'll look at that tomorrow with Brandon. Some strategies. But yes, but remember, when these launch pads, all the stuff they offer, it gets locked up. So those people will only get, I don't know, crypto, Oompa, if you know how this works, but what they'll do is for like a certain amount of days, they'll leave it open. People can make an allocation. I think, well, one, their tokens are locked. Two, they're limited to like usually a few $1,000s to invest. So they don't let them buy big allocations, and the little allocations they do get are littler because they'll usually they'll give them a few, 6, 8, 10% on day one on the TGE event, which would be the 22nd. Then they're not going to see any more tokens for at least 3 months because there'd be a lockup. And then at that point, they would start getting distributions for the next 12 to 18 months. So that's all just money that kind of disappears, essentially. So it's a percent of a small investment. So there they go. So yeah, let's see. That's right. So 6% unlock at TGE. Then they'll have a cliff of so many months, and then they'll get a small distribution. What we have is that everybody that owns N-Twin, there's also another benefit to N-Twin that I haven't even talked about, that I probably will talk about if I don't forget. But everybody that has N-Twin, 30 days out, will be able to swap those one for one. So essentially, it's a proxy asset, like straight up. Okay. What is also cool about owning N-Twin is that anybody that owns N-Twin, because you would think the assumption was to build a twin, to build your digital twin, which are getting really cool, by the way. You will be first in line ahead of everyone else, every launchpad, everyone. You will be ahead of them for claiming your twin ID. So basically your domain, your twin ID, your twin is named this. You might get several twin ID, whatever, but you're ahead of the line before everyone else, which is kind of cool. So we will have a grace period where you guys can pick your twin IDs and do all sorts of cool stuff simply because you had N-Twin. So there you go. Perks, bro, perks. All right. As far as the actual price action, what's going to do on day one, no one knows. No one can know. That's an impossibility. It's something we can never know. So there you go. All right. Are we mirroring our hypercycle yet? We'll ask Brandon tomorrow. I know it's possible. I know all those contracts are functional, but I think they're still making sure that everything. There's other stuff going on behind the scenes. Obviously, you guys know about this potential fork. The Ben doesn't want it. Ben doesn't want. I like it when someone comes out and denies something, but then says that it would have to look exactly like this long laundry list of things that is very and uniquely specific. For the thing that no one knows about, he sure knows a lot about the thing that no one knows about. Like, come on, Ben, get off the gas, buddy. Like we're all right. So yes, there are all sorts of interesting intricacies going on behind the scenes at Hypercycle. A lot of stuff. There's all sorts of stuff going on to help reduce fees for you guys moving forward when you're managing your node factories. So there's a lot going on there. There's a lot. They want to make sure that all of these, when they do stuff, that when you're moving your node factory, which formerly referred to as a hypershare, when you're moving those factories around, that you have all of your stuff and that there's no problems with the cross communication of contracts, all that kind of stuff. So the nerdery is working overtime to make sure they don't let something out into the wild that has some, +1 error or something like that. I don't know the amount of tokens it will take to build a twin, but I know that we will have input in that. So my guess is somewhere between 2,500 and 10,000. Probably on the smaller side. So they don't want it to be prohibitively expensive, but they have fixed costs for building these things because remember, they're interacting with tons of large language models and large multimodal models all the time. And all of that's expensive. Like all those API calls, all those queries are expensive. So the token fuels the building and maintenance and security of your twin. And I think it's going to be cool. And I'm going to monetize. I'm going to put my little son of a bitch out there and have him make me money. I'll be like, you better get out there and make me money, bitch. So we'll see. All right. So I'm excited about all that. I think it's going to be cool. Can a hypercycle perform cross-chain transactions? No, hypercycle, HYPC. Okay, right now, HYPC is a placeholder token. That's another thing you guys need to make sure you guys get. The Ethereum token has the same utility as any other utility token on Ethereum that's simply meant to hold a place. Right? It's not the native token. The native token that has all sorts of cool uses, like containerization of data and things like that at really, really fast speeds with very, very low latency. That kind of stuff is not performed with this token. The purpose of the hypercycle token right now, HYPC, is it's a placeholder that marries to a license that creates Node Factory. Node Factory plugs in to this ecosystem of AI compute and earns revenue. It also releases, once this marriage occurs, it releases into the ecosystem the native token, the C hypercycle token, which actually does all this really fast containerization, back and forth, data transfer, cool stuff. So that's what the native token does. The hypercycle tokens point the whole raison d'etre, the whole why it's here is simply to marry to licenses, to create node factories, and to plug in. In return, you get currency units, USDC, for participating in compute, because all these businesses need to participate, and you are offering them part of the infrastructure in that big, giant compute ecosystem. You're offering them one part. Hypercycle is a part of a big, giant AI infrastructure story. And you can picks and shovels your way to probably doing quite good. So there is that. All right. Will Hypercycle still pay its no? Yes, USDC. Because they want as many Hypercycle tokens as possible, married to licenses, to create hypershares and plugged in. Know what I'm saying? Do you dig? Okay. And the details of the fork are kind of vague because the list of things that the other parties want, which that's a whole other thing, continue to evolve. So until they've really tightened up what exactly that derivative asset's supposed to do, there's no more details. And this may not be something that they can work out anytime soon. This may be something that has to be worked out at a longer period of time. That has nothing to do, that the Singularity Net fork has nothing to do with what Hypercycle's doing with their businesses, partnerships, allies, joint ventures, and all of the technical debt that they're consolidating and dealing with, and all of the little cool, nuanced, fee-reducing strategies and all that. This has nothing to do with that. This is simply to diverge two companies that have different goals. So that's that. So, but remember, any fork that were to occur, you get it. You get a token. You get a token. You get a token. So you get it. So you would hope that it has some value, some utility, the potential for some adoption, and that it doesn't take away from the ecosystem as it currently exists. The beauty is that Singularity Net and what they're doing is a completely different, divergent thing. Singularity Net is trying to achieve AGI before all of the companies with 100,000 times the money are doing. Is that likely? Time will tell. That's not where I'd put my money, but time will tell. So Hypercycle is an infrastructure play in the internet of AI, an infrastructure play. Roads and highways. That's how you get rich. Roads and highways. Not hoping that you build the best car, the only car on the road ever. That's tricky. That's tough and arguable. Simply building roads and highways and letting everyone here, come on, bring your stuff here, drive across, go. Here's some railroad tracks. Here's some power lines. Go use them. That's how you get rich. Anyway, there you go. So I think everybody's up to speed. Let's spend some brain time now. Got to have some brain time, and we got to spend some time talking about how it might make sense to start changing your behavior leading into a bull market, changing your thought processes. Many of you, this will be, if you are a competent fiduciary for yourself, this will be the first time that you're converting a lot of these speculative plays into actual currency units and meaningfully growing your balance sheet in a way that makes sense. Not being in a bunch of weird illiquid assets on sketchy exchanges and all this, but actually meaningfully turning crypto shit into actual shit. So that can meaningfully change your life. You can't, if you live your entire existence out in speculation land, your life never changes. The whole point of doing all this is, it's not that you're going to get rich or not, or whether, no, it's none of that. It's just to make your life better. Even if all you do in your entire time in crypto is learn about a bunch of cool technology and make better decisions with the money that you do have, the currency that you do have, you still win. You're still doing better than if you hadn't. And some of you will go way beyond that in this bull market. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're talking about that mindset.
Hello. You're late.
Ooh.
You're bad at math, but I'm giving you an A+ in confidence.
Just doing what I gotta do.
Extra credit.
Bam. All right. Let's get some kind of cool thought-provoking here. All right. So we're switching gears. Brain time. Hold on. You're damn right it tastes like sunburn cream. It tastes like Hawaiian Tropic. You know what Hawaiian Tropic is? Freaking happiness. You dig? All right. So, this bright group of soon to embark on crypto bull marketeers, we're going to talk about navigating a bull market as an astute and competent fiduciary. That's all of you are. Everybody here's a hedge fund manager. Just have a little bitty baby hedge fund. And as you are kind of entering this phase of your financial journey, many of you, let me real quick in the comments, have you been through a bull market, a real one? Not you FOMO'd into 2021 and bought an NFT, but have you been through a full bull market and survived a bear market? Have you been through a couple of them? Were you here in 2017? Were you here in 2021? Like, have you seen a couple of these? So if you have, a lot of these things are probably going to be things that you should have in the past implemented and you probably didn't. If you haven't seen one of these things, it's much, I know it sounds silly, it is much harder to operate in a bull market than in a bear market. In a bear market, it's just about the perceived value. It's just about the perceived value. But when a bull market comes, people do a lot of stupid stuff, and it's just because they don't have a game plan. We have a game plan when markets suck. Buy quality within your budget and learn. Roll up your sleeves, learn, and buy quality. Every now and then you get one of these lottery tickets that pops off, you scrape somebody to the side, and you buy more quality. But when things go into a bull market environment, and a bull market is a coming, that booming market fills you with opportunities and pitfalls. So the goal here is to equip you with the mindset and best practices so that you ride this bull market and set yourself up for either longer term success, for a survival of the next bear market, or the reality that bear and bull markets may no longer exist when AGI comes to pass. And if you think it's going to be years and years and years before we cross that chasm, I suspect you're wrong. I think if it's years plural, it would be surprising. People don't think of the rate of change. They think of the change. Oh, wow, look how we got here. Wow, what's crazy between this year and last year? They're not thinking of the rate of change, how fast that curve kicks up so fast it's almost backwards facing, because every day builds on yesterday and everything before it. So you have progressive rate of change, not quite, but almost logarithmic rate of change, not just an angled rate of change. It's not 45 degrees anymore. We're like 91 degrees. So I would keep it in mind. A lot of people, well, humans are just not meant to think that way, right? So we have to kind of give ourselves rules and behaviors to live by so that we can behave in a way that respects the math that we don't understand. So as this bull market approaches, stay informed but very skeptical. Discipline over emotion, long-term vision. Okay? So as far as staying informed and skeptical, don't let the market's optimism and a bunch of articles and bullshit going out over X, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, wherever you consume your bad information, wherever that is, don't let it replace the solid research that you have done. So go back to fundamentals. Flip up the skirt every time. Not in real life. That will get you arrested. But in not real life, in research life, you lift up the skirt. You want to know who you're dealing with, regardless of how they identify themselves. Critical thinking. Question whatever the kind of the prevailing market sentiment. And by the way, what's floating around on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and all that, that's not market sentiment. Start reading news articles, and unfortunately, the financial media, that's market sentiment. You can learn a lot from market sentiment by just looking at the 1 day, the 1 week, the 1 month, the 90-day, and the 1 year chart. Just look at the percentage, the red or the green, and where it's at. That will tell you everything, mostly everything you need to know about market sentiment. Just because everybody's buying something doesn't mean it's quality. So you have to be careful. And you have to understand when things are going up because of hype and stupid, fetch, versus going up because there's some real quality there. Not fetch. Got it. Okay. You need to have some level of emotional resilience, a kind of a quarterback amnesia in a sense. So markets, as we know, markets are a beauty contest. They're driven by human emotions and fear and greed and panic. And an astute investor, a more competent fiduciary, remains disciplined. You stick to your strategy despite the hype. What my old one of my old bosses, who's now, I don't think he's a billionaire, but he's probably, his business is worth $1 billion. Probably, it's sick to say that. Anyway, the best advice he ever gave me was, once you know you're good at doing a thing, don't change your swing. Right? Don't change your swing. So don't give in to emotion. Don't start nitpicking your tactics. Avoid herd mentality. So just because some asset is popular, it doesn't mean it's valuable. Value decisions are based on you and how you go through and create some kind of fundamental understanding of the asset. Do your 5 T's. Look for use utility, wide scale adoption. Make sure there's no more than 2 Russians on a team. You know, the 2 Russian, really it's 1 Russian these days. You get 2 Russians together, you got a problem. But is buy rumor, sell the news correct? Not always. If you had done that with Bitcoin or Ethereum, you would have lost a ton of potential profit. I think that buy the rumor, sell the news is fine for lottery tickets, for little crap tokens that you probably don't plan on living in forever. But on quality assets, it's not a buy the rumor, sell the news. It's dollar cost average. Sell when it's time to take a 10x, take 20, or a 2x, take 10. I think that's more what it is. But anyway, there you go. And then, obviously have a more longer term vision. Define your investment objectives clearly. Are you looking for short-term gains or long-term growth? You need to have some level of patience. Investing is it's not a sprint. It is a long, perpetual marathon. You have to get in a groove and find your pace and be consistent. Quick wins are enticing and they're kind of fun, but it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So there you go. Okay. During a bull market, we want to set clear investment strategies. We want to implement some risk management tools, and we want to take profits on a regular basis. Programmed exits. You must exit. USA. No. So as far as setting clear investment strategies, that is going to be asset allocation and regular review. You need to review more during your bull market phase than any other phase, because it's not just about dollar cost averaging into quality. During a bull market, it's about programmed, consistent exits, right? So decide how to distribute your investments among your different asset classes or the different sectors in your crypto portfolio. But this applies obviously to other asset classes as well. Based on your risk tolerance. When I see people in these chats and in these groups getting mad because the price is down, getting unhappy, sad, when it makes no flipping difference, because you weren't exiting on Thursday. It wasn't the October 10th exit, right? So you have to be able to sleep at night. If you're not sleeping at night and it's money related, then change the distributions, change the asset allocations until you're no longer freaked out. Periodically assess your portfolio, assure that it aligns with your goals, it aligns with your risk tolerance, and also your life could change, and those risk tolerances could change, and you have to factor that. I'm not a fan of stop loss orders, but I am a fan of early limit orders to prevent you from getting caught up in the game. So you have an asset, it's close to an exit. You can go ahead and list that order to sell. It doesn't matter that the price is here or the price is there. Same thing with dollar cost averaging. Put your order in, pick a price. If that's your price, then that's your price. Put the order out there. I have limit orders all the time that don't get filled. It is what it is. But I'm never unhappy or sad or, I'm not chasing stuff. So use your limit orders. And that's going to help you with your exits. May also help you with potential losses in chasing something in either direction. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. I would say spread your investments across the crypto sphere, meaning some layer ones, some actual money, which I would say, I think Bitcoin we call store of value. I think that's a fair list. Store of value over time, not store of value day to day, but over time, store of value. Yes. Ethereum is probably going to be a similar kind of a similar kind of thing, but you need layer one exposure. You need layer two exposure. You need data exposure. You need AI exposure, although that's getting more difficult because there's very few real AI companies. So, but anyway, spread your investments across the sectors that you most believe in and start taking profit. Rebalancing your portfolio. So every day when one asset goes here, one asset goes there, it's going to distort your portfolio a lot. Your portfolio needs to be based on your risk tolerance and desire to own these assets. So those percentages are going to get skewed and spammy. They're going to move around a lot. You can't every day. So give them ranges, acceptable ranges. And if one gets way out of whack, say, listen, I am far too heavy over here. I really should be over here. So as certain investments grow, they would take up a larger portion of your portfolio than you had intended. Rebalance them to maintain your desired allocations within ranges. Give them, something that you think is a 2% position. You can give it 1% here or there. Something that's a 5%, you can give it 7% or 3%. You can let it wobble around because one asset rocketing could skew this whole thing. Okay. And set your exit points now. Like go through your portfolio and decide in advance at what point you would be willing to sell this asset and set the orders. Set them. Like, set the orders. And it prevents greed from overriding good judgment. You say, okay, well, when do I take my profits? Well, programmatic exits are good, kind of like dollar cost averaging. Usually what I did was my last big exit, not exit, but when I finally took my 10x take 20 on Fetch, I took it as I broke it in two pieces, and I did one, and then I waited about a week and did the other half. And that ended up making me about 11 cents, which was a lot because that was another X. Because I bought it for somewhere between 8 and I'd have to look. But anyway, what it was is it was another X because I waited. So again, dollar cost averaging in, dollar cost averaging out, but I had passed my 10X take 20. So that's how I did it. When you're looking at bigger market indicators as far as your exits, I think a simpler thing is keep an eye on very basic things like the psychology around interest rates, the psychology around inflation, and these other economic indicators that make people panic and shit their pants and run around stupid. Only in that it creates some near-term wobbliness. But also keep in mind, this is a crypto space that has still quite a lot of room to grow. I mean, every government on earth has tried to shut crypto down over and over and over. And guess what? That's over with. That shit is over with. It's on a boat and it's gone. There's only one thing whenever you question whether you're in the right space, there's one word you need to think about: BlackRock. You don't need to be right about anything as long as you remember the word BlackRock. They didn't come into crypto to be embarrassed or lose money. It's sadly that simple. And time will tell. But I think people are going to look back with a fair amount of regret about 3 years from now and go, how did I fucking blow it? It should have been obvious. And people say it was so obvious when BlackRock came in. It was so obvious. Okay, bitch. Well, behave accordingly. So we'll see. We'll see who it was so obvious to. So keep an eye on economic signals because it'll just give you the pulse. You just want the pulse of the ecosystem, and then try to dig in and look at what the performance is of these assets that you own as far as the companies behind them. Look at the performance, see if there's any partnerships, see if they're still doing things, if they're still creating and building, or if they've just kind of sidelined it like Charles. He'll just let everyone else take care of it. You guys build that. You guys build this. I'm going to go, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. You could argue that, Vitalik, he talks a lot. He doesn't do a lot. It's a fair criticism. Who does less, Vitalik or Charles? Hard to say because you got guys. I mean, this is derivative, but that whole group from original, all those Ethereum code, I think Joe Lubin is probably the only guy doing anything, and that's over at MetaMask. I don't know that Vitalik or Charles or Gavin, I don't know that they're doing anything. So what? They rich, bro. They rich. It's hard to wake up in the morning rich and give much of a shit. So it is what it is. Is there ever a time you deviate from your exit strategy? No. Okay. You're meaning you, Chris. Your exit strategy, it could evolve. It doesn't have to be my exit strategy. Your exit strategy is your exit strategy. So whatever you decide, I would galvanize that as rules. That is a personal choice. And as your risk tolerance changes, it may. I know that how I made lots of currency units was the first big bull. I was been in 3 of these. The first big one, I made a lot of money and gave half of it back. And I was like, well, that sucked. And I said, I'm not going to do that again. And so I formalized a lot of these rules. And then I went through the second one and made a lot of money and gave 25% of it back. In the next one, I gave like 20% of it back, 18%. When the rest of the market gave 80 or 90% back. Why? Because I was like, no, I'm not gambling. I'm taking that shit off the table. I'm not gambling. I'm taking that shit off the table. If you don't take winnings, you can't win. You know? So that's kind of a personal question. This is going to evolve over time for you. And no matter how much you guys hold to your rules, you will deviate. You'll go, you'll start to second guess and all that. The thing is that the market is unpredictable and your behavior is predictable. But if your behavior becomes unpredictable and the market is unpredictable, you are now an order of magnitude, or at least a square, more unpredictable than before and less likely to be correct, right? If you can't see shit and you're looking at, if you have bad eyes and you look at a fuzzy picture, there ain't nothing there. You can't see what's going on. So you have to try to get clarity and focus wherever you can. So yeah, avoid greed, because it's tempting in a bull market to think, oh, these things are going to keep going and they're going to go up indefinitely. Unrealized gains are not profit. It ain't profit until you convert back to money, to whatever your money is, whatever your currency is. So I want everyone to write. Unrealized gains are not profit. Let's see it. That's how we're going to end the day. Unrealized gains are not profit. Let's see it. Ooh, there's a sale at Saks Fifth Avenue. Woo woo. Got my new glasses for free, by the way. My favorite number, 12 free. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Unrealized gains are not profit. Unrealized gains are not profit. Unrealized gains are not profit. It doesn't, the price, Kirill, buddy, the price of the hypercycle token doesn't mean anything. The token itself, listen, last time, the hypercycle token is not meant to go up or down in value. It's just meant to marry to licenses, to get you access. It is a ticket in the game. And the more that those tickets are used to participate in the hypercycle ecosystem, the less tickets are available. And if there's less tickets available, number go up. But not number go up for the sake of going up. Number goes up for the sake of scarcity. Little E, baby. We love that little E. I know. I'm using you as a proxy for this question. I know Kirill knows. If anybody in here gets the small E economics, it's Kirill. These people, why is someone calling me in the middle of it? Outrageous. Yeah. No, I get you. Okay. So let's finish this off. For everyone. Unrealized gains are not profit. Don't just write it, but really think about that for a second. I have a task for all of you before we get off. Here's my task. You're going to look at your portfolio. You're going to look at your entry prices. If you don't know what they are, you better find them. And you're going to write out on a piece of paper, XYZ coin, entry price, exit price, exit percentage. Okay? Entry, exit, and the percentage. What did you get in at? What are you getting out at? And at what percentage is that exit? Yes. So true. So anyway, let's call it a day. Remember, write it down. Entry, exit, percentage. Entry, exit, percentage. Spend some time doing this. I'm telling you, it's going to be valuable exercise. All right. A bull market is a coming. And if you've been through one, don't squander this one. And if you haven't been through one, strap in. All I got to say, strap in. Oh, what do you think? Man, if Trump wins, you better have on 2 seatbelts and a diaper. Got to get cray-cray. Anyway, stay in school, don't do drugs, don't do anything by poor and solve it drunk, strung on a meth grandmother, or Brandon wouldn't do. I'm guessing they got some good weather up there. Hard to say. We'll see him tomorrow. And we'll see you tomorrow. Be wise. Be wise.
Terrified, wandering mind, the seams have come undone. You've been telling lies to these eyes as if they'd never seen the sun. Now you've let your guard down and your heart is exposed. Now you've let your guard down, but how could you have known that I'm the big fish round here? You're a small fish. I could make you disappear. You should know this. I'm the big fish round here. You're a small